Welcome back to the drama on the continent, cutie pies. Hi, Blake. You're so stupid.
Means hello and cat. Kai wanted you to know.
You said it, not me. I didn't write shit.
Yes, you did. I never would have wrote that.
I would never. I didn't write that. You just
Ron
said
Bur-
it.
I Ron Burgundied it, okay?
Mm, sure.
Warning, if you have not finished Onyx Storm, go back and finish the book ASAP because this is the third to last episode covering Onyx Storm. Also, we say bad words and shit. We aren't little ear friendly unless you want them to sound like fucking pirates. Today, we'll be covering chapters 51 through 55 of Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
Just a reminder that theories can evolve, change, be debunked, or just be completely off the rails. Regardless, it's all for fun and not that deep. Some theories or things that we talked about or highlighted in the last episode was Jack taught by the higher-ups how to channel in Basgiath to turn venom. Was Violet's grandma a seer? We gave Riddick even more love. Ark and Zayden having a secret friendship that we don't see. Does Zelna have some hidden secrets? Their weather is similar to dragon hatching grounds. And the real use for Gare Bear's rest bucket. The eye roll. It's not for Violet soaking wet. Ooh, she's soaking wet.
I said, sake it. Sake it like a shoulder.
Okay, so did you know that they're not referencing shaking your ass like a salt shaker? How do you shake a salt shaker? I just learned this last week.
Those dirty dogs. I mean, if leak and soaking wet didn't tip me off that they're dirty.
Today you learned that the song is actually about handies.
Do it yourself.
It's a lazy job.
There's this quote of Jennifer Lawrence, and someone said that she gives unenthusiastic hand jobs. She looks like a person that would give unenthusiastic hand jobs. So now I always say that. I'm like, I'll give you an unenthusiastic one.
We're all bored here, so let's not do this. Let's not torture ourselves.
No. Chapter 51. For maximum potential, riders should be stationed close to their villages if possible. Nothing is more effective motivator than seeing one's home on fire. Tactics Part 2, a personal memoir by Lieutenant Lyron
Pancake.
Tactics Part 2, a personal memoir by Lieutenant Pancake.
Not only is Pancake a dick, but he's an emotional terrorist. I really just wanted to say that because he kind of is.
Yeah, he is, for sure. A horde, not to be confused with the gaggle of whores, is heading their way. They're rushing down the hall, going over the game plan. We are reminded that Zayden is a Duke Daddy when he finds out that neither of his generals of his army are present. He instantly goes into command mode, telling everyone where to go. No venom have been spotted, but they are assuming that they are testing the wards in smaller waves. Ark pauses on the landing above, his brow furrowing, if I could say it. Avi, our boy's signet, is in full force over there.
The signs have all been there.
I know, I just didn't know that was a thing.
I wasn't paying attention to Ark I paid attention to him, but not like thinking that this could be his signet.
No, because you could look at that and just think like, well, he comes from royalty. He wants to know what's going on.
Yes.
So it was an easy, and no one's ever talked about being precog before. So how would we know that was even a signet? It's the same thing with dreamwalking. It wasn't on a lot of our radars because nobody's talking about it.
Does precog count as like an intrinsic form?
I don't know. Maybe. Vi tells Aiden she's the best weapon and put her in, coach. Brendan does not like that, but Zebebe has confidence in his girl. He has her stationed at the gates. The second and third years are ready to fight, and Zayden allows the ones that are willing. He tells Ados it's his wing and his command, which, can we appreciate the growth? Dane Baby has all third years with him and second years with Ree, and tells them all to work in pairs. Bodhi pops out and is like, hey, remember me? I'm coming with you. Zayden tells them, the fuck you are. You're with the first years and you need to stay in the house. You are first in line and we need you. We won't lose her because of your ego. And Bodhi's like, nah, we'll lose her because of yours. So yeah, didn't go so hot. Zayden kisses Violet and tells her, I love you more than this city. Do not die defending it. Vi feels underwhelmed by his lack of Tony Robbins in that motivational speech, but tells him to stay out of the clouds and off the ice and to make sure to come back to her.
I am paying attention to everything that Bodhi and Garrick say and the things that are said to them. So, based on this debate of if it was Bodhi or Garrick who turn at the end of the book, so I just want to mention this exchange between Bodhi and Zayden. Zayden says, you will be as deep within this house as possible. Bodhi replies, because I'm not a weapon like you are. Cure and I are just as deadly in the air. Zayden tells him, because you're first in line. Neither of us have an heir. We're all there is, Bodhi. I don't have time to argue, and you will do as ordered. Our family just got Tyrandor back, and we will not lose her because of your ego. Understood? I'm not so happy, Bodhi replies with, we lose her, or we'll lose her because of yours. Understood. And the argument could be said Bodhi may feel like he needs to prove himself as a weapon, as Zayden is.
During our Iron Flame coverage, I was convinced that Bodhi would be the one to change because of the line that Zayden wrote to his letter to Violet, where he said something along the lines, aside from Liam, Bodhi is the closest thing I have to a brother, perpetually tagging along a step behind. And I felt like it was foreshadowing that he will follow in Zayden's Venom footsteps. And that was obviously before we knew anyone was going to turn. So
Yeah.
it's very probable that it is Bodhi.
I mean, it could be, like, it really could be both. Like, why choose?
Well, I think we've kind of are you
I
still feel
I feel I don't know, I'm so torn. Like, I don't know that he's bad, but I think he could be Venom already. But when not, I don't know. It's so hard because it could be either way. Like on the islands, I wish the Irids would have like talked to Garrick and then we'd have like a confirmation.
confirmation of it? It's that line at the end, we'll get to it, but when I already have a brother you can use against me, I did was like, did Garrick already turn?
That's
Nobody knows. And
yeah.
then both now, so it's like the three of them, and just because that's his best friend, like I kind of am leaning towards that, and I don't think a lot of that would be unexpected to a lot of people. Like it wouldn't be. People are saying if it's Bodhi and Garrick, that's too obvious.
But
Well, it's
is
not.
it like if they're his people, they would do
Right.
anything for Zayden. So why would
And
it?
they have been trying this whole time to protect him and like keep him on the right side of things. So I think having both of them is a better. I could see Rebecca doing that.
I, yeah, I feel like Garrick would do anything for Zayden to like support him. So maybe he did it because there's are times where Garrick has an absence as well. We don't talk about his eye color though.
Oh, and then all of a sudden Garrick's back and he's being like a co-professor with him. Sometimes Garrick didn't come back when you thought he was going to. There are signs that it very well could have happened. And then
So
we'll get in a little bit about Garrick being fast and stuff. So
yes.
real fast. I'm not married to anybody at this point, but I'm like, we're just looking for the signs.
I think Garrick over Bodhi, in my opinion, but that's just me, just based on my intuition.
I think I am more both. That's
Yeah.
like
If we have to choose, I think it's Garrick. It's not my sticker. We have to choose, I think it's Garrick, but I definitely think it's a high probability of both.
a friend of mine, right after the book came out, she asked me who I thought it was. And she gave me all this information where she does not, she thinks that Garrick and Bodhi are too obvious and she thinks it's Brennan.
I think Brennan already is.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I get that, but yeah, we already think that.
Yeah, Brennan, he's got to be, or the eye color, the amber, that's what gets me. And I think it was just like a lovers thing where they did it. He did it to support his lover, and which good for him.
Right. And it was just like a matter of survival and they both had to do it.
Yes.
And his lack of reaction to Zayden being Venom, as well as the mention that it's hard, he can't really mend himself or it's painful and it's hard to. So it's just like now he has a test subject.
Yeah, those little cues saying
Mhm.
like I can't do this to myself.
Right. So that's what we're thinking. Taryn says, do not worry for him. He wins no matter how this battle goes. Brutal. Ark yells, Sorengale, wait, you have to protect Dune's temple. And she's like, I have an entire city to protect. And Ark is like, the temple is outside the walls, and reiterates, you have to protect the temple. She tells him the attendants are skilled in protecting themselves. He whispers, it's how you say it. Why I said that, it reminds me of
Oh my god.
Vi blows him off and waits for orders from Ree. They will be paired up. Taryn is front and center, giving Michael Scott, I'm Beyonce, always energy. He tells her she needs to get faster at reacting to attacks like these. And she's like, I can't tell leadership to make decisions faster. Then perhaps we need to make our own decisions. Foreshadowing.
Stealing the words right from my brain. It sounds like someone isn't impressed with going down in leadership in Dragontown.
Yeah.
I really want to say going down in Dragontown, but it's leadership too.
Yeah, it's both. But I think book 4, we're going to see them just going rogue.
Breaking bonds left and right.
Breaking bonds, breaking hearts, breaking necks. All they're breaking.
Breaking necks. Yes. Here for that one.
Wyvern.
Well, yeah.
This isn't at all important, but it did make me giggle. She's like, all the attendants of temples are darting into their sanctuaries, except not Zanal. Nah, those bitches are like having happy hour on the front steps. They're like, we got luck. We got luck. We don't need this.
I wonder how that worked out for them. They never say.
They don't.
I'm going to assume everybody just walked off and had coffee after.
I hope so. Those lucky bastards.
As you have coffee with you.
I know. Vi starts wielding and then sees the wyvern aren't in formation like Basgiath. Taryn guesses that they know Vi is here and bigger formations make a bigger target. Vi does some impressive lightning work. Ree tells them to stick close to the wall, but Taryn and Vi both agree she should not be wielding too close to civilians. Ree is hesitating, and Taryn says that they can't afford to do so. Taryn tells Vi to drop the conduit. She does. When Vi asks Andarna if she made it to the wardstone, she says, it is well protected, which gives her the Peter tingles. Taryn is proud of himself because he is able to blend into the night and kill some Temu dragons. Taryn takes Vi on the Incredicoaster, and she and her stomach are not impressed. Okay, that would be hard for me.
Why?
I would have to have like the motion sickness patches on at all times when I ride my dragon.
So once again, do you think you could be a rider?
I have the heart of one.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
That's what matters. Vi says she just needs 5 seconds. Everything seems to move slower as I force my fingers apart, splitting the bolt in two. The strike hits the lead pair, but fallen the formation reveals the remaining two and our favorite silver-haired villain. Taryn bellows and his pain replaces hers.
So in this moment, Vi thinks, I just need 5 seconds. We have 50 feet of altitude on them and the same in distance. And she needs it. So she wills that 5 seconds to happen. Going in the file for our Violet Wheel's pure power theory. But like at 3, she's feeling all the power wielding and needs an extra release because she isn't used to managing her power like that. When she says, my body burns as I twist in the saddle wield, releasing the coil of energy with a flare of my hand in one heartbeat, then dragging it downward with 2 scalded fingertips, tips in the next taps. So she's releasing the extra power in the way that she's used to. She willed it to happen those 5 seconds.
Those 5 seconds. And she gets a lot done in that last second, doesn't she?
I know. I'm sitting there going like this, like, what did I roar? But
Austin Powers. Yeah.
Chapter 52. Dedicating oneself to temple work isn't just a noble pursuit. Becoming high priestess or priestess, or becoming high priest or priestess is the closest most of us will get to touching the power of the gods. The rest are writers. Major Rory's Guide to Appeasing the Gods, 2nd edition. So was Vi touched with just the tip?
And people becoming high priestesses not for noble pursuit, but for power? Also got it. I see you, Theophany.
Fucking great point.
She wasn't doing it for noble. I bet you she became a writer, right? And then due to being first six, because that's my theory, and then she's like, no, I need more power. And then she did this.
Unless it's part of the non-existent prophecy, and that's why she did all this. Like she had all the power, and then to continue, she had to become Venom.
Or because, like we said, they were all the first six or seven were God touched already. And so her high priestess looks a little different because she's with Dune.
Who knows?
But I don't think she had good intentions.
May-
She wants power, babe.
We don't. Maybe she's a homie. We don't know. Or she
I think
turned for the wrong reasons, and then God, one of the gods came back and was like, "Here, let me touch you and remind you."
maybe.
That sounds awful. After they skid to a halt on top of a wyvern, Vi realizes Taryn is injured, and it's kind of a big deal. A whole ass wing spur broke off into Taryn's leg. Taryn gets sassy to Andarna, but Vi is like, "It's cool, I'm fine, and didn't burn out. All is good in the hood at this moment." Taryn says to Andarna, "Your ability to follow simple orders will get her killed, and I will not lose her as I did the one who came before." His words choice is just really convincing that Naolan is not dead. Once again, he does not use any word in the 86 from life category. Specifically says, "I will not lose her as I did the one who came before."
I totally agree. He knows Theophany's trying to turn her. He knows she's wired to protect the ones that she loves at all costs. So turning is a very real possibility. So he's just, I will not have this happen again. God damn it. That's Taryn.
I think he would say, "God's damn it."
He doesn't care about gods. He thinks they're puny little things.
Oh, humans, damn it.
I was going to say dragons, damn it.
I wonder how they do. Well, they do have their own
They're,
form of swear words.
yeah, they have for fuck's sake. So
I want more of the dragon lingo.
I know. Maybe that's Rebecca's super secret project.
A glossary. I'm on board with that one.
Okay, good.
Andarna stands on the Temple of Dune's steps, and Violet is pissed. She asks Andarna what she's doing there. Andarna listens just as well as Violet because she's like, the prince said to protect Dune's temple, which is wild because Violet and Xaden have defended dragons, saying that they don't take orders from humans. Read Iron Flame, Chapter 5, Chapter 11. Andarna is like, but he's a prince. That means it's kind of like an order. Taryn tells Andarna this tantrum is ill-timed, and they start bickering. So it said, "How are you angry? Princes do not make suggestions, and I am an extension of you. Am I not everything you wanted me to be? Am I not as fierce and courageous as he is? Is this not what I am supposed to do? Sharpen my claws on the scales of the enemy?" And I find this fascinating, not interesting, since dragons don't take orders from humans. Andarna is an Irid, so we know she's not like the rest of the dragons and technically leads her own den. Does Andarna know that Arik can see into the future? It's not Andarna's secret to tell, so she wouldn't tell Vi this.
Yeah, and I wonder if because of Andarna is magic, because that's what Irids are, if she has some precog powers herself. Because I do feel like Vi's intuition on things is fairly heightened, so that's a possibility, or like just maybe that's just Andarna flooding into her of intuition things, or yeah, maybe she can sense what other people's magic is, so she knows what Arc's precog is, and that's why she's choosing to trust him and believe him.
I mean, who it's really feasible considering on the Isles, the Irids were able to point out that Xaden was Venom without him even channeling that day.
Well, and our boy, we'll talk about it, but our boy Leo comes out of nowhere and just knew that was the day that he needed to fire the ward stone. Maybe they all are precog. I mean, the places that Andarna has gone, like hiding out, it's like she knew something was going to happen and needed to be there. So I think
She's got, oh God, who sings the intuition song? In your heart, my intuition. Yeah, no,
I'm going to need you to sing louder.
no. I've already sang enough today. Today. Jewel sings the song Intuition.
I saw her in concert. Very
Okay.
good. She's a though.
Okay, yeah, I can see that for sure.
She's got like interesting energy. Like her crowd work, she's just
I don't know that I'm going to a Jewel concert anytime soon, but noted if she does tour around here.
Toured with Train, so that
We've really just come full circle here.
we toured with Train and Blues Traveler.
If you were going to say Creed, I was going to lose it.
No, but John would have loved it.
I bet you the dragons like Creed.
Oh yeah, with arms wide open, with their little. Why do I think that dragons have small T-Rex arms?
They stand on all fours.
I don't know, but sometimes they might just be like,
Just in the, like when a cat stands up on their
mm-hmm.
hind legs, that's what a dragon looks like. Dragons are just big cats with wings. Oh my god, they kind of are. They're so ornery.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, we figured this out. So Rhys shows up to the temple and is like, what the fuck? But Vi has to explain Taryn is wounded. She hops off to assess and is like, fuck, the wing spur is huge.
That's what she said.
Taryn is like, it's just the tip though. Violet tells Rhys to leave because they're vulnerable, but Rhys is the best and argues with her that it's not happening. Thank God she didn't, because Rhys uses her retrieving power to remove the big ass wing spur from Taryn's leg. Vi tells him he needs to go, but he's like, too late, sis, as they hear wyvern wing beats. Violet tries to get Andarna to leave, but Andarna wants to protect Dune's temple, which honestly is really admirable since she didn't want everyone in there to be defenseless. Vi tells the High Priestess to get inside, and then she wants to start talking about hair care, asking if she uses lye in the manwasa flower on hers too. I did look up what lye is because I had no idea. It's a strong alkaline solution, especially potassium hydroxide, used for washing or cleansing. And when used on hair, it's used to straighten hair, which we know she doesn't use it because Violet has wild and unruly hair that drives Xaden nuts.
So lye, I only know what it is because of Drop Dead Gorgeous, because that's what they put. God, what we have it every Christmas Eve, and I don't like it. It's Scandinavian. It's a fish, and it has to be in lye. I don't have it. What's it called? Lutefisk.
Mm.
And they remember in Drop Dead Gorgeous and how the cook lady with the hairnet is like, it's lutefisk. We lay it in lye for whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm so glad that this is why you know what lye is.
Yeah, because I was watching Drop Dead Gorgeous at way too young of an age.
I love that movie, though. It's so good. This is the second time we've talked about it, but it's so good.
Never gets old. Keep going.
I did look up the manwasa flower and just like if there was any kind of definition or anything out there, but there's nothing. There's nothing of similar meaning that I could find. So it's implying that they potentially use this combination to color their hair, since dedication is now no longer allowed unless you're an adult, and that's why they assume she came from Dune, since it just grows like that.
And except the attendants have white hair. So is it the attendants have white hair and then the high priestess have silver?
Does it say white hair?
It does say the attendants with white hair.
Interesting. So
I was just like, would the attendants be considering people that work there?
maybe it's white because they color their hair. They use
The
the manwasa flower. Yeah.
And I'm like, not silver.
It's probably because, yeah, it's harder. You can remove the color from hair, as we know when we bleach it. And then to get silver, you'd have to use something to tone it. So maybe, yeah, they just have white hair because they color it.
And when the high priestess says, I thought it was odd when the high priestess.
I love High Priestess.
High priestess. The high priestess. I thought it was odd. The high priestess was like, does it? After Vi says it just grows that way, because they clearly have to work for it. Like, was Vi blessed, touched by Dune in a larger capacity than these other high priestesses? Even if Vi was only partially dedicated, is she kind of like her chosen one? Because
I wonder if like they did outlaw like the dedication, especially of minors, but I wonder if like people just don't get dedicated like in the same way, so they're not necessarily god touched. That's why they have to color their hair. So that's why Violet's such a shock, because she's so young with it natural.
But when they were on the Isle, like, remember that girl had half?
Yeah.
And theirs was more silver, so I wonder if it's just, like, an Isle thing?
Yeah, because
That
they
it's
can
more of
actually
a
it's the
silver.
Isle of Dune, and this is
Right, so these are, like, bootleg priestesses?
once again, we go back we have to reference an MLM. Different tier because it's
Yeah.
not or it's like, yeah, for sure a bootleg version. Or they don't
Yeah.
or they're not even actually worshiping Dune. The priestess will take no other answer that Dune sent Violet for their aid. Violet is wondering why Ree hasn't left, and Taryn's like the squad leader won't go. Guess who shows up? Surprise, surprise. Theophany. She's playing nice at the moment, telling Vi not lift a hand or a blade, and she won't drain everyone. The high priestess yells out, "Heretic, you are not welcome here," which I have I don't know why I just did my little shout, which I have to Google the definition of heretic. It means person believing in or practicing religious heresy, aka someone who speaks out against the religion. That's when it clicks to Violet that Theophany was a priestess of Dune. By her, the attendants on Umbriel, they all match. Two more Venom men wearing red robes show up, and Andarna tortures the three of them, but everyone stands untouched. They then hold hands and disappear like Garrick did. They said, well, she's never been revered for her judgment. So, what other shifty decisions has Dune made? I'm curious.
An excellent point because Rebecca isn't huge on telling the reader things flat out. It's up to us to kind of figure things out, which I personally love. I love an Easter egg. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that are confused about this book in general, but Vi knows a lot about the gods and their backstory that we yet do not know. And I can't help but think it'll be a big part of like future books because we don't know anything about Dune making shifty decisions. I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know what her history is, who she's dated.
And then the comment, just like Garrick. Obviously, we know Garrick is a sneaky sneak distance wielder, but her comparing the Venom to him, intriguing.
Very captivating
Mhm.
information.
Well, when you originally brought up Garrick possibly being Venom already, this was the sentence in my head that I remembered and popped out like immediately
Yeah.
before we really started deep diving this book. So,
There's like no direct clues that point him into being a Venom, but just like stuff like that. It's like, okay, you have a couple of red flags.
it's like offhanded comments
Yes.
that are weird.
But Rebecca doesn't do offhanded comments.
No, it's all intentional. So that's why I think that is one thing with people, like we were saying, they want a lot of people just want things obvious in books. Rebecca's not the writer for you if that's what you want.
Yeah, think about her signet. We all thought, it was going to be whatever we were thinking. Like I said, I don't know a fucking single person that guessed Dreamwalker. Not a single fucking person. So Rebecca likes to put really sneaky clues in there that you really won't figure out.
She is a Swiftie. Taylor does this shit all the time. Like that is so like really that's what you did, but that's what she loves, and I'm here for it.
Look what you made me do. That's what Rebecca says all the time.
She does.
Vi isn't sure why Theophany rudely pieced out, but all she has time for is the four wyvern approaching. Violet actually sends a prayer up to Dune and Fields, releasing a blast of energy and no holding on this time. Violet then feels magic wash over her, prickling her skin in a familiar wave, and lightning strikes the first wyvern. It drops from the sky in a ball of fire, but she can't celebrate yet because there's three more, except the other three are falling. They do what they can to protect the temple and the priestess, and then a wyvern that fell barrels barrels barrels
My
in
mom.
a wyvern that fell barrels into a column. Vi does what she can to stop it, but then she has an assist. Xaden has arrived. Sigale immediately goes in on Violet with, "You let this happen to him," referencing Taryn, but he's quick to defend her. Shields are then thrown up so they can argue privately, which is rude because we all want to hear. Xaden tells Violet that Sigale refused to hold her position once she felt Taryn's wound, and then says, "We were almost here when the wards went up." Violet hears the slide whistle and hears Leothin's voice. "It seemed necessary to fire your wardstone."
How did Leo know? Why come now during the attack? Coincidence? Or did gods clue him in?
Well, we do know he was watching for a little bit, but what made him want to watch? And if the Irids don't like, battles and non-peace, I don't know why I just phrased it like that, but, like, why stick around for that? Like, why do you wanna witness this?
I just keep on thinking about how they said that they don't live on an isle with like humans. And I just feel like they live on the isle with gods or are up with the gods. And that's how they were clued in. He was clued in on this. That now's the time to go.
I mean, what does Empyrean stand for?
Isn't it God something?
Empyrean means relating to heaven or the sky. So I am on board. And okay, so it means heaven, in particular, the highest part of heaven.
Yeah. No.
So I understand that the dragons like call like their government the Empyrean, but I think this Empyrean series has to do with the Empyreans in the sky. The
Right.
Irids.
Well, maybe they were the Irids were the original rulers of the Empyrean dragons. And then they're like, you guys suck, peaced out and fled. Like that's what they say.
The Empyrean in the Bible uh, is the dwelling place of God, the blessed celestial beings, so divine they are made of pure light and the source of light and creation. So I don't think it's so far fetched to think that the Irids live in the sky with gods.
Do you know that I picture the 96 Hercules movie every time I think about this? And I picture the
It's like clouds and shit.
Irids up with the gods up above. Like that's what I picture. And they're like, you need to go down below and help Hercules. Like,
I,
I don't know why Zeus voice, but that's what that was.
I think you are onto something. I feel like I say that every episode, but we're just so damn
I
smart.
We're always on to things.
Okay, I don't want to use AI, but it says Empyrean does not have a direct translation in Gaelic as it is a word of Greek origin meaning heavenly, of the highest heaven. But the Greek origin comes from Greek word empyreos, which means fiery or burning.
Like dragon?
So that's the Greek origin. And then the heavenly association is the dwelling place of God or divine beings. In Christian religious cosmologies, the Empyrean was the source of light and where God and saved souls resided.
The source of light?
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
What what does what did Asher call Violet?
Light?
Save souls?
My mind is just like fucking boggled. The shit, and it was coming out of my mouth and like I was already rolling my eyes because like I don't know why I said it. Why haven't we never fucking looked this up? I'm like really upset.
Chapter 50. Asher returned today. God's help us if anyone finds out. I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him for what he's done to her. Journal of Captain Silly Lily Laurengale? Or Lauren. It depends.
So,
You know?
silly Lily Borngale.
Accurate.
Okay, I wonder when this journal entry is because it's not saying it's recovered. It's not saying it's unsent. It's a part of her journal, but is this, I wonder if it's what the ones that they have or a clip for missing.
I think it's clip from missing.
Because, everything, every excerpt or epigraph that's up there, we don't have those books. We don't see them. So who's to say this isn't from those months that are missing?
I feel like it is. Okay, so obviously the older kids went with grandmama. And that summer they stayed. So was it just this plan that Asher was going to go to the Isles with just his 2-year-old and Lilith was like, okay, I got to stay and work?
Maybe she had a really fun summer.
She had a brat girl summer.
She had her spicy, slutty summer, and that's why there's no journal entries. She didn't want her kids to know about it. That's a separate spicy journal. Like Lily started, Silly Lily had smut before everyone. Self-written.
Why in my head was like, oh, she had an affair with Ados. She would never. she loved Asher, okay? And they didn't have an open marriage. I know this about them. You're not going to have an open marriage with somebody that changes his name for you. A man doing that? I still think that there's a very interesting reason. Interesting
I,
that he.
I agree that maybe he was really embarrassed about her like gallivanting with all the generals.
Maybe. And he's like, you know how she said that Asher comes from, he's a legacy scribe. So the colonel one isn't actually him. It was like somebody in the family, dad, whatever. I still just have this inkling that Lucerys is where they're from and has something to do with the first six, like where their family, like,
Something with the Emerald Sea too.
oh yeah.
Because why would Dane know about it thanks to Asher? Asher had a part in Dane had a part that Asher like gave him, so probably because they're all from the same area.
I'm feeling like Asher's from Lucerys and Lily is from Moraine. We got some first six roots.
I could get behind that.
Thanks. It hits Violet that since the Irids fired the Wardstone, Eratia and most of Tyrandor is safe. Xaden sees Leo and decides to peace out, considering what happened the last time he met an Irid. But he does want Vi to give him my gratitude, which sounded so dukely.
That's it's giving, you know, people would say like dropped a deuce and like so dukely, like that's just same page for me.
It's not a dukely isn't a word, but you know me.
We don't believe in using real words. Like everything is a word if we use it.
Well, yeah, not even just deuce. Yeah, Southern people say dropped a dookie.
So I'm not that far off in thinking
No,
like
you're not. Ree and Violet head towards the Irids. Ree gets to hear the most annoying sound in the world, the damn Irid whistle.
are we
Vi
sure that
thinks
that's the most annoying sound in the world? Not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I mean, I did because I wanted to say that.
Vi thanks Leo and says, I did not do it for you. Ree says, harsh, Ty. And Darna thanks him and he responds, your human is as dangerous as we feared. She defends her people and ours. Leo is a real judgy Judy, telling Indarna her behavior is abhorrent and her actions are misguided. Misguided?
It's Wednesday.
I
It's currently Tuesday. Real excited thinking it was Thursday for traders, and then I was off by another day, and I'm actually off by 2 days.
We got Survivor tomorrow.
Join us on Patreon on Thursdays as we review it.
Can't wait. So Gale hisses, she's a credit to our riot. And he's like, as we hoped she would be, yet in none of the ways we value. Once again, fucking rude. Vi is not having it and tells Leo that they set her up for failure when you left her here to be raised by the Empyrean. There's nothing wrong with her. We can never thank you enough for what you have done tonight in firing rewards, but if you've only come to point out all the ways you believe her to be lacking, you'll find
Pierce.
greeting warmer than mine, which he ignores and tells Indarna her motives are honorable. Also, we are fam. Your human can stay. What? Did you change
This it's really giving Fast and the Furious family. You're fam.
Damn it.
You've been around me too long.
You're rubbing off on me. You're human. Fuck me. Also, we are fam. You're human. God damn it. Your human can stay. The rest need to get the fuck out so we can have a little chit chat. Taryn is like, no, I will not leave them unprotected. And Leo says, the fact that you think that they need protection is why my words are only for them. I will only offer once. Leo cuts them, Vi, and Andarna off from the rest, which is just a little clue with how powerful Irids are. Leo says he doesn't like that she was judged by the shortcomings of others, even the dark wielder you seem fond of, and she should be given a chance to learn their ways. Choose their ways, and he offers for her to go home with him. It may take a few years, but by then you will learn enough to know your truth. Also, P.S. Your human can't come, and you must come because you aren't even supposed to be here.
Unfortunate for everyone, no coming.
No coming. There's not a lot of coming going on here. Fuck you. There is nothing but war. I can't start laughing and say there's nothing but war and suffering.
This is
There's
such a funny book.
hilarious. Violet, tell more jokes.
Okay, not Violet's jokes.
I pictured, when Chandler and Monica go on their honeymoon and then they get like the wrong name from somebody. And it goes joke, joke, joke.
My mind went to her braids and the
And
getting stuck on the shower curtain.
Aruba or where were they? No, Aruba is where Rachel was supposed to go, and that's where Mindy and okay, I'm not going. I'm not doing this. There's nothing but war and suffering. And Darna tells him she's bonded and our lives are intertwined. He's like, cool, end it. Bonds are merely magical ties. You are an irid. You are magic. Bend it like Beckham. Shape it. Break it as you see fit. Sorry, that reminded me of Bop It. Bend. Shape it.
And Darna's
Break
just a life-size Bop It. Which I think it's crazy. Like, we finally meet the Irids, and we still hardly know any of her fucking story. We know nothing.
Nothing. Just that they left that poor thing in an egg.
For over 600 years. Like, that's rude. And I think that's abandonment.
It is. And they should be looked at by CPS or DPS, Dragon Protection Services.
That is not where my mind went because DP is the name of something else.
Slut.
So Indarna says, our lives, our minds, the very energy that forms us is intertwined. And Thanthan says, so end it. Bonds are merely magical ties. You are irid. You are magic. Bend it, shape it, break it as you see fit. And this line right here is why I think that she only bent her bond with Vi. I don't think it was truly broken because, allegedly it's supposed to kill the writer. And even though she's the second dragon.
Why is that a bicycle?
I don't. Dragons have handlebars, yeah.
Be easier to be a dragon. Now I'm picturing mustache handlebars.
They have horns, so like riding a big old chopper, which is instead of chomper, it's a big old chopper.
Big old, it wasn't for old chopper here.
But yeah, I think her bond was bent. Is where I was going with all that.
But it still felt like an absence of a bond to Vi.
Yeah,
but
because nobody knows what to expect when a bond breaks, and allegedly it kills their riders. Violet didn't die, so that's why I think it was bent. And because she was it was so easy for her to come back and just be there.
Leo says because she had the other bond that she wouldn't die. But I don't trust these guys. They're shifty.
We know. Thanthan did with assist come in with the assist, but what?
You just Thanthan?
Did you not catch it when I was talking about it earlier?
No, I tune you out. Am I supposed to listen on this podcast?
Not to me. Not to me.
He points out she already did that because humans should only be capable of bonding a single dragon, and yet you forged a second connection where there shouldn't be one. Only an Irid can do that. Your instincts are excellent, but you need instruction. Break the connection and come with me. And Darna wants to go, but it's obvious she doesn't want to leave Violet. He tells her that the other bond will sustain her life. Should you choose to return, you can always reforge the bond. Violet tells her that she loves her and wants her to feel complete. I want you happy and safe and thriving. I want you to live, even if it's not with me. Leo tells her it's admirable. Their bond is broken, and Darna is out of sight. Violet feels like nothing. Taryn demands she breathes. She tells him she left us. He responds with, we remain. Vi sees Xaden and she thinks, I exist for Taryn, but I live for Xaden. Sigale is pissed and Darna is gone.
Chapter 54. No rider has ever survived the loss of their dragon. I can't imagine wanting to. Colonel Kaori's Field Guide to Dragonkind. Which, no need to imagine anymore, Kaori. Violet's out there proving you wrong again. And I guess that dick JB, too, since he's been in and the fucking worst. You have a look about you.
So you kind of said it quickly, and I heard in my ears Kaori's Field Guide to Dragonkind. No, we all know he has gone for dragons, so he's like, this is your field guide.
When you said that, I was just picturing like somebody doing like the honk honk motion.
Sorry, I was really trying to put together this.
It's a lost cause. Okay, so cue likely possibility for the montage, just like in, spoiler alert, New Moon, when Edward abandons Bella. Violet is just sending emails to Andarna that get bounced back. Brennan reads to her, probably smut, but everyone works in shifts. Taryn leaves their bond wide open and hears him telling the elders about Andarna leaving, him bickering with Sigale, and him lecturing Xaden. She hears everyone celebrating because cool, the wards. The wards in Aracia are up and running. After 4 days, Sussy Mira shows up and is like, bitch, get up. Sad shit happened, but suffering is a choice. She immediately asks Violet, how did you replace the power you lost? Violet is like, I didn't. What are you talking about? Brennan starts pounding on the door because he has FOMO from his family. And I mean, he did play dead for 6 years, so he doesn't want to miss anymore.
How did you replace the power you lost? Why is that her first question? Is she wondering how much power she may have from Dune as well?
Also, bitch sister, like, ask if I'm okay.
No, but how much power? Like,
why do you need to know that, Mira?
Sussy little sus. But I will say before we get into it, like, it is such girlhood. Like, no, I'm going to climb in this bed with you. And we could just chat it when everyone else is just trying to get her out. They're like summer house.
She's a no boundaries girl. Like, she's gonna do what she's somebody that walks directly into a house without knocking. That's me, for sure. I knock on some doors of people I'm not really close with.
Do you knock on the back door?
There's no backdoor knock in here.
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Why you want to talk about my butthole?
I don't really want to. You're whispering I don't want to. Oh, wait, that's a vagina.
No, it's a butthole.
Is it a butthole?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For everyone that didn't know. Watch Role Models.
Great. Great movie.
Solid movie.
You know what? That was the peak comedy. We had the 90s and then we had the early 2000s. That was just.
And Paul Rudd.
Yeah, like Judd Apatow movies, and they're so good.
Paul Rudd's not a shadow daddy, but I could see and I love him. But if he was in his younger age, I could see him playing like Kale, because he's not like dark and like sexy, but like he's fucking hot. Like I would sit on that face, invite him to my harem. But the fact that I can just say that with such a straight face now is concerning. There's no real harem. For Paul Rudd, there would be.
He's kind of a shorty, though. He is short. He's a short king. So I'm just saying, like, Kale's kind of tall.
Oh, he's taller than me, so it's not hard to do. He's 5'9".
That's short.
I mean, there's like little inserts. Well, he's not going to be Kale anyways, so it doesn't matter. He's got the face of a Kale, because Kale's hot too, allegedly.
Kale is hot. I thought Kale was hot in the first read. Sorry. Okay, we should go back.
Okay, so back to the Empyrean series.
But Kale was a hottie.
Xaden says, I can kill him if you prefer, and give him another opportunity to fake his own death. Mira scoffs. Okay, Mira must be a Scorpio for the way she's holding a grudge against Brennan, which is probably why I've always had red flags with her too.
And as someone who is married to a Scorpio and then have Aries children, Violet, I see you, girl. I also feel for you.
I mean, can we agree that she's likely a Scorpio?
Yeah, she's got mad Scorpio energy. Just like I feel like Xaden is an Aries, which we know that, but he's got to have like Scorpio rising or something too. They're both little Scorpios.
Rebecca, give us dates and times we need to know and locations so we can find all their rising and everything.
Well, Violet made a comment about the last day of March, so he is for sure an Aries.
Yeah.
For his birthday. So, but we need to know about Mira.
Yeah, we need to know his rise. Well, we need to know his rising and all of that because it affects everything.
It really does. Basgiath bitches do a book podcast. That's what our tagline is.
This is Unhinged Tangents, and welcome to an unhinged tangent about fucking horoscopes of Xaden.
What you need to know,
They go hand in hand.
obviously.
Xaden brings in the last of the living Sorengale. Mira brags that she got Violet talking immediately after arriving. Mira and Brennan start bickering about who's doing what to help. Violet double checks with Xaden about him really opening the border, and Duke Daddy did because he's the best. Mira and Brennan are still bickering, so Vi gets up to go potty, and then takes a bath with the assistance of the Shadow Daddy, who is also Nurture Daddy. Vi starts talking about missing 3 days of rune instruction, but Xaden is like, 3 days was never going to help you with that subject. Also Truth Daddy and Jokester Daddy, a man of many hats.
Mira saying the deficit of power has to be staggering, let alone the emotional impact of severing a bond. She is very hung up on the deficit of her power.
Yeah, like, why do you need to know these things? Like, obviously, like, she's still a weapon for Basgiath, well, Navarre, or more Orisha, but, like, she's still a weapon. So why do you need to know this extra power loss?
And right now, she's been in bed for days. Like, why is this imperative?
Right. Suffering. And
right.
Mira's just like, it doesn't matter.
How much power?
Yeah.
Vi did tell her first decent joke. No wonder Dad spent so much time in the archives. Brandon was like, I still see you have your sense of humor. It's like, Brandon, she doesn't have a sense of humor, you dork.
Exist. Vi thinks I'm a master of pain, and Andarna's loss is the deepest I've ever had to mask in order to survive, but I don't have to pretend with Xaden. And then says to Xaden, I think I know why riders die when their dragons do. It's just not the deficit of power. In that moment, I didn't know who I was, where I belonged, or why I should bother breathing. If Taryn hadn't grounded me, I think I would have willingly floated away. I still can't comprehend the enormity of her absence. I don't know if I ever will. I can't see past it. Xaden comforts her, but asks if you need me to take care of you or kick your ass. And Vi knows it's the latter. Xaden grabs Vi some clothes and then asks who Niara is. Vi tells him it's her grandmama and that she's apparently a sore subject. She gets dressed and then comes out of to this conversation between Brennan and Mira, which we need to go over.
Mm-hmm.
So Brennan starts off with what we hear him come into. She hated our mother. I cannot believe you would go there. And we can assume Grandmama hates Lilith because in chapter 29, Mira said, and it wasn't Grandma Niara who ended communication. Turns out it was the other way around. Why cut off the communication?
Did she hate her because Lilith was venom?
Which she knew.
Yeah.
Mira says, Violet has Dad's books. You have Erasure, total middle child syndrome. I went to the only other living member of our family because all I have are a few of Mom's journals, and there are months missing Brennan. Xaden tells Violet during the argument he recognized the bracelet as belonging to your grandmother, and it went downhill from there, which would be the black tourmaline bracelet we went over in chapters 26 through 30. Brennan then says, so Mom didn't journal for a couple months. So what? Did you ask Violet if she has? And then Mira cut him off and said the months are missing in the middle of the book. And they're from the summer Mom and Dad left us with Grandma Niara. Mom purposely didn't write anything. And so my question is, do you think that there's another journal somewhere of Lilith's time in those months? Because I definitely do. And I think that's going to be a big part of the puzzle.
I agree. 100% in agreement. And also when you said Mira is typical middle child, in my head, Stephanie Tanner popped up. I'm like, Mira is Stephanie Tanner.
And then Brenna, not Brennan, started saying like, that doesn't mean, and Mira cuts him off again and was like, I was 8 and it was just you and me, remember? Violet was too little to stay. When they returned, Grandma stopped speaking to them. Violet was too little to stay?
Can you stop too? Grandma stopped speaking to them. We're getting contradictions here because it said that it was the other way around a couple sentences earlier and in the chapters before.
You're right. Mira can't keep her story straight, which red flag. Like, once again, I've been suspicious of Mira this entire time, and this threw up another flag on the map. On the map of
Sorry.
Mira's suspicions. Brennan then says that doesn't mean they hauled her to Dune's temple and dedicated her. That's been illegal since the 200s. Mira says they went to Poromil to do it. You will believe me, Brennan, because it happened. It's why she refused to speak to either of them. The priestess started the process, then told Mom and Dad that they only accept children whose futures are certain, and Violet still had paths to choose from. Brennan, I did not believe in his full name. I wrote Brenna. He's like, since when do you believe in drug-induced hallucinations spit out by oracles? He throws up his hands, revealing the rune-shaped scar on his palm or the ranting of our grandmother. And I just want to mention that this is the only moment his scar is mentioned being seen in this book. But we need to hold on to this thought for a later chapter, because once again, I think Naolin burned out, but continued to channel through the earth, becoming Venom. He burned out and then channeled because he created a resurrection rune on Brennan, and this is how Brennan survived. Once again, hold that thought. Back to the conversation at hand, though, Mira is like, and one of those paths, they refused to take her, and I've been requesting temple records for months, but of course, none of them would list a child, let alone a Sorengale. The priestess spoke all cryptically, but basically said if Violet chose her future poorly, she could still earn their mentorship, but she'd turn.
The let alone a Sorengale thing, it just, obviously Lilith was a big deal, but I think the Sorengale name must have significant history in Navarre.
Good point, because why would Asher change his last name to match Lilith's?
Unless, especially because his dad or whoever he comes from a
legacy.
So it's a good last name, but you're going to this one. Or did he change it because of all the shenanigans he did in the Isles, which knew Asher Daxton? That's what they called him in Hedotus.
Those two can exist at the same time.
They very much can. We've learned that in therapy.
We have. So I feel like really, like, Mira knew about Violet being dedicated in chapter 29 when Mira told Violet she should go to Lucerys, and then looked at Violet with the oddest combination of worry and dread, her mouth tightening. Violet also asked, did Grandma Niara know he studied the Isles, as in her dad? Her lips part, but then she looks away. She knew and left the books for you alone, remember? I certainly don't need to know about bird migration or moss. If Mira really did know all this time, like, why wouldn't she tell Violet? Why is she waiting till now with Brennan to have this weird-ass argument?
I think it's because, like, when Monica heard that Rachel was potentially the hermaphrodite cheerleader from Long Island, she didn't want to see it. You know, she was worried that all of a sudden Violet's going to be turn Venom.
Right. Which she's been, my assuming is she's been watching for that.
Watching for it, because all throughout this book, remember, there's been mentions of, like, Mira looking like she had Xaden's power, almost like really watching. So it's like, is she just watching to see if she's Venom? Like, I still go back to, how did she know that they were going to be there when they went to go talk to Jack? JB.
Right. Like, she attests it to, or attributes it to being like Violet is just always up to shenanigans.
And, like, I know you, but you would do this.
But do you actually know her, Mira? Do you?
No. Do you?
I don't think she does.
I don't think so either. Once again, a reminder, Niara means with utmost purpose, which I am curious, is that a clue of Mira finding her purpose? Vi finding hers? Is that grandma, mom?
How many moms are in there?
A lot. Gonna have a huge purpose? Like, I wonder.
Is she a seer? Like, who knows?
Drug-induced hallucinations? Maybe that's what she's all about.
And you know what? The grandma wouldn't be a seer. It's an oracle. The oracles are mentioned. My bad. We gotta get our phrases right.
The wrong book. Wrong magical world, okay?
Fucking bad.
Niara hangs out with Elaine all the time. You guys just don't even know it.
They hang out with a surreal all the time. They're all besties.
Oh, I love him.
R.I.P.
Do you know that cereal is always used for May? For, like, when people make the carousels of whatever, like, this birth month, and I always get him and it makes me happy. I'm always down for hot tea. Give it to me. Give me the goss.
I love it. I love receiving it. I don't love being a part of it, but I love hearing it, which is why it
Mm-hmm.
was so rude of Sigale and Taryn to block everybody out.
Bunch of bitches.
Just,
They don't.
I will say that I stand for Kyle Cook in Summer House when Sierra's like going in on West. And he's like, yeah, well, we all want to hear this, like realistically.
I know. Or like in that same episode, Lindsay's like, Kyle, why are you always like pretending to put equipment, like set up equipment when you're just eavesdropping?
We all know he's
dropping,
listening. He's doing what, Blake?
dropping those eaves. I might watch.
You should. During all this, Violet is realizing some things. The Unburish High Priestess said, "It is good we did not complete your dedication." And tell me, did you choose this path yourself? And then confirms they did try to dedicate her. It wasn't just here. They must have taken me to Unbriel. It explains why you think my hair grew in like this and the wild things that the priestess said to me before she sliced my arm open and that they were trying to fix her. Brennan shoves his foot in his mouth by saying, Dad thought you were perfect, and he said that parents used to dedicate their infants to a particular deity service when they thought the touch of a god would help that child. Poor Violet responds with, they tried to fix me by giving me to Dune? And Brennan says, no, Mom was never temple-minded, which Violet has confirmed before. Violet realizes Mom didn't take me. Dad did. It's why he told you that little piece of history, Brennan, in case you needed to put it together. It's why he sent me there with those books. I don't think any of us actually knew our parents. Is that why you've been so distant lately? You constantly look at me like I'm going to grow a set of horns because you think I'm going to turn at any second.
We know from Vi that Asher never made anything obvious. Like that's what she was always saying about trying to figure out the clues. And I don't think the fixing was for Vi's joints because Vi was only 2. A lot of times you don't know the extent of a kid's like injuries or mental stuff until they're older because they can't communicate. So they probably wouldn't know that Vi was in pain and stuff as much as she was at that young of age, which it makes me think that I truly believe that Vi just has the tip of venom in her because of Lilith, never Lily, turning to save Violet while pregnant. And I think that's why Grandma Niara wasn't a fan of Lilith for that reason.
I can get behind that. Everything we say is canon.
We believe so.
I get why people get so dead set on their theories because like we've talked about it so much, it all just seems like, yeah, that's it.
So maybe I think Asher has some type of connection to the gods. I don't know what it is, but I believe so. Maybe it's in his his studying of the Isles when he was younger. That once this happened when Lilith was pregnant and Vi and his now wife being Venin, he went back and he took her to get dedicated so that she would have that extra power. So when the time came that maybe when she does turn Venin, that Dune would be on her side and would help her navigate through this. Just a thought.
So then Mira admits that she thinks Violet will turn Venin. Brennan gets the exact words because words matter. And then Xaden steps in and is like, there won't be a Venin, Violet, because it's me. Shadow now Venin, Daddy. Which I read it in the it's me, Jessica from the hot chick. Mira is ready to murder Xaden, but Violet does not let that happen. Mira is pissed about all the secrets and yells at Brennan. Good luck keeping her alive. Okay, Xaden, he's like, she doesn't intend to tell anybody about me. And he cut through her shield. So Daddy is strong.
Yeah. Where shields aren't even an issue anymore. He just slices right through.
So I wonder what he's cutting into for Vi.
And usually that was easier because they already have the bond. So I think he knows everything that's going on in Vi's brain, even if he's not even trying to.
So that he has access to all of her Venin info essentially and can complete his little side quest of whatever he's doing.
Piecing things together himself.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 55. It's hard not saying chap. As our largest province, Tirador provides the most conscripts for our forces. However, the strength of Navarre isn't only found in Tirish soldiers, but also in the province's most valuable resource, Talladega Knights. Losing it would doom Navarre. on Tyrish History, a complete accounting, 3rd edition by Captain Fitzgibbons. So Talladium is what's made in alloy. That's how you make alloys, with Talladium. The truth is that Tyrandor secedes from Navarre. It will be A-okay. It's Navarre that actually needs Tyrandor.
And that's why they're trying so hard to like keep them like under their thumb, but Orisha's not going to suck Navarre's dick forever.
Oh, it's done. So it's got TMJ. It's done. Duke Daddy is like, no more dick sucking.
He's done with that dick sucking, and he's going to get his dick sucked.
Good for him. Love that for him. Welcome to our podcast, ladies and gents. Very highbrow stuff is talked about here.
Yeah, it's highbrow to me.
Mir keeps her mouth shut for 2 days, which is nice. Never really picture her for a gossip. But she's giving Vi the silent treatment. Navarre wants to declare war on Tyrandar. Navarre wants to declare war on Tyrandor for defying the scenarium. But the Duke of Darkness is cutting off shipments of Talladium until King Tori, the Wise, confirms their alliance is intact. Vi is in an all-day runes class, which, let's face it, our girls' probs isn't going to improve much. Rhea's being extra delicate with Vi because everyone was scared that she's going to turn back into a bed-rotting monster. Kitty Cat is being the cat we have learned to love, making fun of Vi's pathetic ruins. Ruins? Ruins. Vi sends it right back with a good thing I excel in other areas, paired with a fuck-off smile, which, of course, Vi is being unintentionally funny, and me and my spirit animal, Riddick's brain went to something sexual immediately. Did yours not?
I mean, isn't that what's implied?
I know, but the first second
Yeah.
I go like the next line, I'm like, but that's not what Vi's like. I didn't mean it that way.
Yes, you did.
I know, slut. Just kidding. Quinn offers to help Violet with her rune making, and Vi accepts. Quinn says, I don't remember you being this terrible before. And Vi's like, I've always used Indarna's power. Taryn is strong as fuck and breaks the threads. Quinn tells her to be more aggressive, harder, rougher in her approach. Vi says she can do that. Riddick and I both in unison say, that's what she said.
I wonder if Violet always struggles with runes. I'm just thinking of how you said it.
I
With runes so much because of her not realizing that she is pulling like essentially through to 2 different types of wells of power. She could use Andarna's power to create them, but she wasn't necessarily good at it, probably because she doesn't understand her power. And then a few months ago, I'd barely gotten by using more delicate threads of magic from Andarna's power, but Taryn's is so unruly and hard to separate. No wonder my signet is pretty much all or nothing. Taryn does nothing to do anything in half measures, and neither does his power. She gets hard and rough with Taryn's magic string and can shape them, but finally, but his are wild and unruly. So like she understands it because she was directed, but she doesn't understand Andarna's magic because it's not the same from the same well. But at this point, like you can't help but wonder about literally every detail, and I feel like something about that is important.
I think you're onto something there.
Stealing words out of my book. And then in reference to runes and Mira being a sassy pants and rubbing her shitty mood off on Professor Trissa, I feel like so far, the only consensus is that certain materials can carry magic beyond the continent and others can't, will come into play at some other point. So I just want to hold some space for this.
All right, the holding space for it got me. Felix shows up for badass magic lessons, coddling not included. He immediately goes in on her for not following orders, her squad not having boundaries, and she takes unnecessary risks. And Xaden leaving his post they would have lost if Leo the Irid, homie, hadn't fired the wardstone. He asks on any updates, and she tells him that she was able to split a bolt into 2 branches, not into a cloud, from the sky, and that she hit her target. He asks her to show him. She's worked to the bone for 3 straight days. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm starting to get weird vibes from Felix.
He's just giving you a red flag like Carrie gives me some red flags on my flag map.
Yeah, something.
Anybody in leadership, like that's not our squad's generation, concerns me because they've all been under the same type of leadership for, XYZ how long. So can we trust any of them? Because they've been fighting the same battle for a long time.
And we do know that the Benin have infiltrated leadership in all different areas, not just Navarre
Right.
or Racial.
I mean, their fucking Duke daddy is a Venin daddy.
Right.
So
I know. So that's why they said that maybe Felix, I'm just saying Felix in this example, could be us above and we wouldn't even know it.
right.
Xaden wouldn't know it. So,
Because we don't know about sages and mavens because we can't sense them.
right. So that's why I'm thinking there's got to be somebody in Erasure leadership
100%. That's not Xaden.
that's not Xaden that was already in that is in the Venom pond.
Bad Venin, not good Venin. Turned with the wrong
Right.
intentions. Turned for power, not
Yeah.
for love.
Correct.
Same page.
Perfect. Brendan mentions that he would like to Brendan mentions that he would like her to have some balance, but nah, not our girl. She's an all or nothing girly. Maybe ADHD. We'll see. Brendan is like, who the hell is going to heal you when you go back to Basgiath next week? And Vi wonders if they will even go back if King Tory doesn't confirm he won't set the place on fire. She would like to stay because she loves being with Xaden and doing sex stuff, but because he mostly seems like himself here. A little icy, but has an air of purpose and peace. But I could literally picture their future there. They're interrupted by Bodhi and Xaden fighting. Bodhi wants to fight, and Xaden is like, no, you need to graduate, you fool. Sorry, that reminds me of not Dumbledore. What's his face? Gandalf. Run, you fool. Sorry. Plus, you're the first in line. Bodhi's like, I'm nobody's backup plan. You are the Duke, I'm the rider. I'll stand by your side, but if you want a member of our family to hold that seat, keep your shit together, pal. Vi realizes that the reason Xaden is at peace is because he's making plans for the future that don't include him in that seat. You have a thought? Go.
Okay, so everybody has a second signet, and usually, like within family lines, they're really similar. Bodhi's second signet, we don't know, but he doesn't have one. It's got to be something intrinsic, right?
It has to be. And I kind of feel like Bodhi could be the brother, an actual brother.
Since there's all the comments of how much he looks like him. Let's table this and we will have this conversation at a later chapter, which literally is coming up.
Like I said earlier in the episode, I was on to Bodhi and Iron Flame when it came.
Let's just get into it.
Let's get in. Okay. Well, it's in here. Rebecca said to pay attention to who would feel like they're missing something in these last chapters. This conversation very much feels like Xaden is tired. Xaden? This conversation very much feels like Bodhi is tired of being sidelined. I truly don't even believe he wants to do it for the glory and the attention. I think it's for more of the honor of it, which makes me think if Bodhi does turn, his intention will be for the love of his cousin and possible crush on Violet. I don't know. I see vibes there. Where he will turn to keep an eye on Xaden because he needs someone there to check in on him in the Venom pond.
I'm just really thinking about like I do think Bodhi will turn if he's not the one at the end that does it. But I agree it'll be for love. But what if he is his brother or he put a little bit of his soul into Bodhi for safekeeping. Sape? It's a word.
It's the end of the episode. We can no longer talk. That is the rules. It happens every time.
I just with you mentioning like he could be his brother, like I feel like that's really possible based on the looks.
Yeah, it just said, and yes, cousins can look alike, of course, but just the mention of like
It's like a twin to him.
And Xaden saying multiple times like he doesn't have a brother or like, but Bodhi's the closest one to it. Just with their family, people being confused that it was his grandpa and the great uncle. Like, I just feel like
his tree's a little messy.
The tree is a little messy and unclear. Like maybe Bodhi truly is Fenn's kid. He stuck him with somebody that couldn't have kids to protect him. Like there is a second in line, so you wouldn't know, but it's like.
They make the mention of how one of the continent or one of the places that has multiple consorts in one year. So who's to say Fen didn't have multiple consorts and has several children out there? And then they just kind of took Bodhi in.
Raise them as like cousins.
What if Xaden doesn't even know that it's his brother?
Probably doesn't. He might start, or maybe, yeah, maybe even fucking Bodhi doesn't know
Yeah.
that they discover.
You're on to something, Blake. That little brain
I
of
love it.
yours is just working overdrive today. I like it.
Thanks. That doesn't feel, well, it does feel like it's working on overdrive, but not necessarily in a good way. Brennan let Xaden know that he's got some mail. Also, why did the king of Deverelli refer to my sister as your consort? Xaden's like, I would say it's a long story, but it's not. How was your day, love? Vi asks him if that's what he's doing, prepare for demise. He ignores the question and says his was interesting. He likes that too. The evacuation is going slower than expected, and Melgren warned him not to fly into battle. Just a few days late. And the high priestess of Dune's temple says Dune holds you and Ree in high regard. Or in her regard. Yep. Dune holds you and Ree in her regard, and she is in his debt and owes me for whatever favor I see fit. Vi tells him about her day and then once again asks, are you preparing for your demise? He says he is, but he isn't embracing the fall. I won't give up a single day I have with you, not without a fight. She asks him if he wants to go on the roof, and he tells her he has something else in mind and glances towards the throne. Lucky bitch. I also like that we don't know what's going on with Vi's research with Benin. Like, there's multiple instances that she talks about, like, the books that she's reading about Benin, but we never get that information. So there is probably a lot that if we knew as an outsider who's not in it, we could start putting the clues together because our Vi, she's too entrenched in it. She can't probably see it all the way. Or she's just holding out, not telling us things. She does that a lot because she doesn't want her dragons to know.
Or dragons, and maybe Xaden, like from the bond,
Yep.
trying to block everyone out. Valid point, Blake. The comment, oh, and I'd love to know why the king of Deverelli referred to my sister as your consort in his last offer. And then, Zane's like, I'd say it's a long story, but it's not. This made me wonder if they're already married here or he has a plan in place to expedite their marriage.
I think it's a plan in place.
The high priestess of Dune's temple has written that says Dune holds you and Rhiannon in her regard and that she is in my debt and owes me whatever favor I see fit, specifically Xaden. So I don't think he was just exchanging pleasantries either. Like, he was trying to clue Vi in.
I think you're right. And I also find it interesting. Why is Dune in Xaden? Like, why does she owe Xaden a favor? Not
The people
owe
that
Vi a
protected
favor.
her.
Right. I feel like Dune is messy and she wants Vi in power as well. Like, she's working, pulling strings here, and she knows what Xaden's on
Maybe
to.
she's like trying to play to some prophecy or something.
Mhm.
Trying to play a prophecy in her favor. Because what if there is a prophecy and all the gods are trying to make it so it comes out in their favor, and that's why it's like so many gods keep coming into play.
And trying to woo
Not
our
woo
girl.
woo, just woo.
No, just woo. One
This ain't
singular
woo
woo.
woo school. This is just wooing school.
Mm-mm. Yes.
All right, let's close this bitch out.
Let's close it. Questions we had, whether they are relevant or not. Does Lilith have a hidden journal out there? Is Mira a Scorpio? Precog, a form of intrinsic.
Those are my really important questions, and especially Mira being a Scorpio. It's like really important to learn.
Kai always has the really important question.
Can Denon breathe underwater? Like, that's my number one question of this entire series.
I know this is really stupid, but every time that I think of runes, I always think of, like, when people make, oh yeah, you have underwater basket weaving class. That's how I would picture runes, because I don't think I'd be good at it either, because I have little hobbit fingers.
I think of Rune Danon and the Prince of Empyrean Fae, and that's what I think of every time we say runes, and I'm like, Rune Danon.
Theories added to, confirmed, or denied. Violet wielding pure power, building on the pure power theory. Played more of a devil's advocate with if Theophany is actually a good guy. Obviously not.
I
That's
said it's a
entirely
rogue theory, not necessarily one we believe, but we still have to look at everything from all angles.
I know we enjoy doing that, to be honest. Built more nail in being alive, built more nail in using a resurrection rune on Brennan, which required more power, so he had to turn Venom. Bodhi being Venom.
Any other thoughts? Mic drop for Blake. That is our thoughts on chapters 51 through 55. We only have 2 episodes left of Onyx Storm. Our next episode will cover chapters 56 through 60.
Thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us as we go off on our tangents. If you're enjoying listening to us, make sure you share with your book besties, especially on social media. It's free and it really helps. And subscribe wherever you're listening. Bye.
Bye.